Hello everybody. Welcome to my live. How's everybody doing? My name is Laura Roderick. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Antonio, Texas, and I go live just about every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I'm excited to be with you. We're going to make some really fun cards tonight, kind of easier ones tonight. The last 2 weeks we've been doing a little bit more difficult cards because there was a lot of pieces and a lot of die cutting. So these will be a little bit faster tonight. So I'm very excited to be here with you. It's kind of a rough day. And then, hi Renee. And then we had a little thing going on at home while I was at work. My husband was home, but basically a pipe broke in the garage for the water softener and it flooded out the garage. So, but anyway, everything's all fixed and we have water again and everything's back to normal like nothing ever happened. So that is good. It is, I think it was supposed to be 105 today. About 15 minutes ago, they said it was 103. So I'm guessing it probably did get up to 105. So it's hot here in San Antonio. Are y'all having good weather where you are? I hope you are. All right, I'm just waiting for a couple people to hop on and we're going to get started. I think the first thing we can talk about tonight is the contest that I have every week. Usually I do a share contest or a comment contest. This past week was a comment contest. All you had to do was comment on my video, either on one of my 2 Facebook pages or on YouTube. And I take a look at everybody's comments. I write everybody's names down, put them in my little app on my phone, little spinner wheel, and pick a winner that way. So this week I was giving something away from the new upcoming catalog. These are the Real Red and White Adhesive Back Peppermints, which these are super fun. I can't wait to make some Christmas projects with these. So our winner from this week was Gina Marie Howard. So congratulations to you. If you could drop me a message or email me and let me know your address, I will put these in the mail to you so you'll have them to start having some fun with. I think this week we're going to do comments again. So all you have to do, hi Sharon, all you have to do is just comment on my videos and you'll be entered into the contest to win. So this week I'm going to give away something else from the upcoming catalog that comes out, I think, September 3rd. And these are really beautiful. These are called faux glass dots. And these are beautiful. I think the colors are gorgeous. These will be great, I think, for fall colors because it's almost like, I don't know what that deeper orange is. Maybe it's a Cajun Craze. I'm not sure, but beautiful, beautiful colors. So thank you if you comment. I appreciate everyone's comments. It's fun to interact with everyone during the videos and even after on the replay. So I appreciate that. All right, you guys, let's get started. I'm going to turn my camera down and then we'll start making some cards. Oh, hold on. Let me just make sure I come up on my, there I am. Good, good. I need to be able to see your comments when we're doing this. Okay, perfect. All right, let me flip the camera. All right, my camera, I don't know. I still haven't figured this out. It still seems very far away to me because I'm getting a much wider view, but I think it's going to be okay. And I know I can, I learned how to, hi Jolene, how to zoom in, but I feel like it didn't necessarily zoom in anyway. Like it zoomed in right now when I'm looking at my phone, but when I look at what's actually recording, it's not zoomed in. So I guess I will just try and unzoom it. Maybe not stop the video while I'm doing it. Okay, there we go. All right, you guys, we'll just go with it like it is. Tonight we're working from the annual catalog. So you guys, this paper, are you loving this paper? This is the Thoughtful Journey paper. It's got all these beautiful prints. Mine is kind of beat up because I have some more coming that just shipped today. But look at these gorgeous papers. The colors are just so, so pretty. Look how pretty this is for the fall. I didn't even get to use half these papers. I think I only used 4 of them total with our cards tonight. And then on the other side, kind of watercolory prints on the other side. So many possibilities. We're using this one. Look at how pretty these colors are. So, ooh, look at that. That almost looks like it could be an underwater thing. Anyway, this paper is gorgeous. So I thought you know, after the last 2 weeks, I thought, and plus I worked Saturday, and you guys know I do all my work on the weekends for Stampin' Up. So I was like, I need something a little bit faster and easier for this week. Okay. And then what are we going to use with it? So a couple different things. Let me see. Nope, that was last week. Hold on. Let me go back and see. Okay, the Thoughtful Journey dies. So we're going to use some of these dies right here. These are good. These bundle with this stamp set, but I didn't use the stamp set this week for this. I only used the dies. All right, and then the other thing I used with it is this. I wanted a good sentiment, and I wasn't super happy with the sentiments with the Thoughtful Journey. I mean, they're fine. They're pretty, but I appreciate you, dearest friend, thinking of you finally. I wanted more like, you know, a happy birthday and just some other sentiments, right? I wanted a sympathy card because you always need those. So I'm using the Unbounded Love, and these are beautiful sentiments. They go nicely with all these really nice dies. So that's the bundle I'm using for the sentiments, okay? Any of these shapes right here, the die cuts, I'm going to cut out for you if you get the kit this week. So you don't have to worry about having the dies for this, because I'll cut them out, and then you can use any sentiment you have or any sentiment you want with them. But if you have this bundle, then you can make the cards exactly the same way, right? And I love the fonts on this. So that's what we're doing. Just a reminder for you guys, the Designer Series paper, and this is one of them that you can get, this Designer Series paper, on sale for 15% off, and that's through the end of August. So you still have an opportunity to get that, right? And these are some of the select papers from the annual catalog that you can get at 15% off. I have taken advantage of some of these and gotten stocked up on some extras of these, because really beautiful papers that we have to play with. Okay. Again, here's the stamp set that I haven't used. I almost used this one, but then I ended up not using it. And then here's the dies. What a great set of dies. Look at all the different choices you have. We're going to use a few of these. We're going to use this, this, this. I didn't use these leaves, but I love these leaves. These would be great for making fall cards too, right? So those are pretty good. Here's the other set that I just showed you in the catalog, so I won't spend a bunch of time on this. But this is what we're going to be using for our sentiments. Okay, here's the cards we're going to make. We're going to make a happy birthday card. May all your wishes come true. We're going to do this little, is this called a book fold card? For just to send to a friend. Hope they feel better soon. A sympathy card, because I feel like you should always have some sympathy cards made and ready to go just in case you need them. So we're going to make that one. And then this one is really pretty too. I love this. So a little bit different colors. And we're going to color ribbon again like we did last week. And this one just says, have a blessed day. Hope is believing in a brighter tomorrow. All right. So let us start with the birthday card. Okay, so you guys, if you want to get my kit this week, all you have to do is place your order of $35 or more at my Stampin' Up! Website by Saturday, and I'll send you the make and takes for free, and I'll show you what comes included as we go through, because when I take them out of the envelopes, that's how they come to you as well. This is the host code for this week. And then if you don't want to use the host code or order from me, you can still purchase them separately for $20, which is also a great deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the DSP separately. Like, this is how it's going to come. So for this first card, you're going to get the DSP, and then you can cut it however you like. Okay, so you have this whole piece of DSP, and then you can cut it down to how you like it. And then you'll get the pieces of the cardstock. And I did do some of the die cuts. Okay. So let's start at the beginning. We have our old olive. I'd be lying. This is Mossy Meadow, 8.5, 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, just our basic card fold. We're going to do a layer of Petunia Pop, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. Then we have this piece of 5 1/4 by 4 that's going to be on the inside that we're going to stamp on. And then we're going to cut down this piece right here, okay? So we're going to actually cut this piece down to 5 by 3 3/4, and then we also want a little strip for the inside that's going to be 4 inches by 3/4. And so what I did on this one is I just cut from this, you know, I wanted this corner out, so I'm going to cut it this way and use this part. All right, and then I've got this this label die from that set that I showed you. We're going to stamp Happy Birthday on that. And then these are the die cuts, also from that, that set, the Thoughtful Journey set. So I did one in Mossy Meadow and this one in Petunia Pop. So we're just gonna glue this. This is just gonna lay right over so that you have the stems that end up being the Mossy Meadow. And then the flowers are gonna be sticking up, which is in the Petunia Pop. So we'll glue that together too. Let me start by cutting. So we can go ahead and cut. And like I said, this third layer of the card is going to be 5 by 3 3/4, right? So I'm going to start by cutting it this way. And it depends what you want to do with the rest of it, right? But I probably wanted a longer piece, the 4-inch piece down here to put in the inside of the card. So that's why I'm going to cut it this way first. If you wanted to, oh, I cut that wrong. I totally cut that wrong. It should have been 3/4. Okay, hold on. I think I have one more piece of this. For sure. Hold on. Gotta find my other pieces. Da, da, da. Okay, let's try and get that right. So this is going to be 3 3/4. But again, because I want a 4-inch strip along the bottom, I'm going to cut the other way first. So this is going to be the 5-inch. So I'm going to cut it this way first. And then I'm going to do the 3 3/4. This is my last piece, so I hope I get it right. Okay, so that's going to be our layer like that. Now, then you also have this left over, which would make for another layer on a card, right? That would be lovely. And then I have a little bit of this strip that I ended up using the other side for on the inside. Okay, I've got 3 more cuts to make tonight, so let's hope I can keep it together and get it right. Okay, so I didn't cut this one down. So this is going to be 4 by 3/4 inch. So let's do it right like this. And I'm going to cut off the bottom. So 3/4 this way. Okay, there we go. Let's do our stamping. I'm stamping in Mossy Meadow. Oh, I didn't pull any of my stamp pads tonight. I usually do better than that. We're going to do Happy Birthday. Don't ask me why I always feel the need to line it up like that, but I feel like it helps me get it kind of straight. Okay, so there's Happy Birthday. And then on the inside of the card, I'm doing May All Your Wishes Come True. Also in Mossy Meadow. All right, let's see if I can get this one straight. Excellent. All right, let's put this on the bottom so our inside will be all finished. Okay, now let's put these 2 layers together next. Oh, look at how pretty this side is too. All right, so this is going to go right on top of here, and then we're going to tie a ribbon before we attach it to the rest of the card. I haven't used Petunia Pop that much. Have you guys used this much? It's really pretty. And then we're going to use some Petunia Pop ribbon. This is a really nice ribbon. Easy to tie, easy to use. And it's just got a beautiful texture to it. I think, so yesterday was the first day of school here. So traffic's been a little crazy. If I left myself enough of a tail. Hold on, I want to redo that again. And just bring a little bit more over. But it is still full on summer here. So we're going to be, I think, 105, 104, 103 for the next few days. I think it doesn't cool down till about Saturday. And by cool down, I mean it's going to be 99, right? That's kind of my marker, right? As long as we're under 100, it's cool. Which is kind of funny, right? I mean, how did that happen? Under 99 is cool, right? Are you guys starting to cool down in your areas? Starting to get any hint of fall weather or cooler summer weather? And I'm not complaining about it because I do love the hot, sunny weather. You know, as long as you don't have to go outside and spend a lot of time doing things, right? If you're outside swimming in the pool, it's fabulous. But if you have to do anything else, it's too hot. Okay, I'm going to pull that over just a little bit more. Curl this up so I can move it easily. And I think I actually kind of want it at an angle, so let me play some more. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put our happy birthday down. Let's get out some dimensionals. Oh, Jolene said it's 79 by her. That sounds lovely. 79 sounds fabulous. I'm going to put some at the top and the bottom so we can kind of straddle the ribbon a little bit. It will not be 79 here until probably, oh, maybe sometime in October. Maybe late October, maybe November. We'll start to getting in the 70s, which would be nice. October, I feel like, is one of the most beautiful months here. The weather finally gets in the 80s and it's gorgeous. Okay, so let's put this right here. All right, now let's get out the glue and see if I cannot make a mess. I'm gonna glue this together. Let me get my glue started. Okay, and Jolene, you're in Minnesota. Okay. Very good. Very, very good. I wonder what it's like in Chicago. I haven't talked to anybody all week. So my daughter went back to school this week. You know, she's a teacher and she's been off since she had Easton in November. So she went back to school and the kids started, Emmeline started preschool. Easton was going to daycare. So I think they've been super busy. And I'm anxious to hear how everything is going. Just doing little dots of glue. And then I'm actually going to take just my little tweezer to see if I can put this on. Put it this way. And see if I can line it up okay. And I'm just covering up the stems and leaves. And I'm just going to adjust it a little here and there, which is the beauty of glue, right? Because you can move it around a little bit and get it perfect. We don't want that pink to be showing. All right, I think we pretty much have most of the pink covered up, right? Do we still see any? Press it down, see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So we're gonna put this right behind, and I don't want it too terribly tall, so I'm gonna end up cutting some of the bottom off. Now you could do a couple different layers of things if you wanted to. But I just did this one layer for this, and see, that's when I straddled the ribbon. That's the other thing that kind of got in the way, right? Let me move it. I'm just cutting a little bit more off, so I don't want it too high. I think that's going to be fine like that. All right, so let me add some glue. My fingers are already sticky. Now you could also use that sticky paper and do that, but I feel like the glue works pretty good for this because, you know, I want to be able to move it around a little bit as I'm placing it. So, all right. So I'm just going to put that there just to add another little touch, a little element there. Okay, we can put this layer onto our card. I'm super anxious to start using the fall, the Halloween. I can't wait to start using all the seasonal things. So that's going to be fun. This little piece of flower, I think I'm going to save it because it's awfully cute. Maybe I can use it for something else. Okay, let's add a couple of embellishment. So I've got our In Color Shimmer Gems. And I'm just going to use, this is the Petunia Pop. Let me get this going. So I'm just going to put a few of those on. Here we go. I played with a couple different gems when I was making it, trying to decide, well, what did I want? And I ultimately decided just a little bit of sparkle would be good on this. Okay, that's it. Super easy. First card. Nice happy birthday card. I think it's lovely. I hope you guys like this one. Can you guys see it okay? So far away. Hi, Lisa. How are you? All right. Card number 1. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. And on this one, we're going to do this little book fold card. So, and I'm using this Wild Wheat color because it's kind of in the, look at how pretty it is right in here. So I was trying to pick up on that color. So I think it looks pretty. All right, let me straighten my legs out. Sitting kind of funny in my chair. Okay, so we have this piece of DSP again, and I'm going to try and cut right this time. And we have this piece, which is 4 1/4 by 11, and then it gets scored in half at 5 1/2, and then again at 6 1/2. So an inch this way, we've got another fold here, right? And that's actually going to fold this way, just like that. All right. And then what we're going to end up doing is putting adhesive here. So this just gets tacked down on the inside. Okay, now our card opens like that. All right. So we've got that started. Now we want to add some layers. So we're going to do Petunia Pop layers again. So I have this piece of Petunia Pop right here, which is 4 1/4 by 4. And then I have another piece that is, this is 4 by 3/4. That's going to go right here. All right, so that's going to be another layer. And what I could have done but didn't do, and I didn't even think of it till now, I didn't do it on this card either. I wrapped the ribbon around here, but you could also wrap it around inside the book fold part so it wouldn't show, and that's probably what I should have done. So when you make your card, maybe you want to do that. I don't know, it's probably too late for me to unhinge it, although it's so humid here, it might be easy to pull this apart. Because I feel like the adhesive, you can see how gooey it is because of the humidity here. So maybe we should just try that. I don't know. Let me get out my thing first. Hopefully I won't totally ruin this card right now, but let's put on the layers first, and then we can put it back together. All right, so this one's going to go here, and I was just checking since one side is about 1/4 inch smaller than the other. Yeah, I don't know about the seal right now. I don't feel like it's that humid in the house. And of course we have the air conditioning running, right? So, okay. And then our second piece, let's put that on. And then we're going to cut some DSP. So this one's going to go right here. Once we get the DSP on, then I'll put the ribbon on around the inside too. Now, it may not work out that well because you're going to have a little bit of bulk to the inside of it then, and it probably won't sit as nicely as if you do it around the outside. But let's try it, right? Because I feel like we have to know how would that work. And if we don't like it, it'll be easy to rip apart again because I'm going to put this aside so we can cut the DSP because the ribbon will be there, so it'll be easy. Okay, look at this piece here. How pretty is this? And so this piece, I'm also going to cut to be, this is going to be 4 by 3 3/4 because it's going to be our next layer. So I want the 4 to be on the long side. Let me just double check to make sure because I don't have a whole lot of this extra paper until it comes. So this is 4, this is 3 3/4. So I want the 4 to go here, and I cut this one just a little bit above right here. So I'm going to start with that and figure out about how much of this sky that I want showing. And I'm going to cut it this way, and then I will make it 3 3/4. That's what I said the last time, right? And I was wrong. Let's cut the 4 this way first. Now let's do the 3 3/4. Now I've got a strip if I need it, although it's kind of short. Okay, so this is one piece, 4 by 3 3/4. Then I need 3 3/4 by 1/2, and that is going to be, I want it to be the same. So I'm just going to go 1/2 here, because that's going to go in our little strip, right? And so I said 4, hold on. I said 1/2 by 3 3/4. Okay, so we can put these 2 pieces down. Now for the inside, I did 4 inches by 1/2, and I did it times 2. So here we go. Let's do 1/2 again, twice, and we're gonna put that on the inside. And I kind of did vertical strips in there this time. And we just have a couple little scraps left over. Let me get all our little scraps out of the way. Okay, so you can see on the inside, I just did this way and this way. All right. Okay, let's get back to the card. So this is going to go here, and we're going to tie our ribbon. These super easy cards I'm making super complicated, right? But I wanted to give you the full strip, the full piece of DSP, so you could do whatever you wanted with it. Maybe you don't like the way it was cut, or maybe you want to highlight something else on it. You know, completely up to you. Okay, let's add the ribbon, and we're going to tie it this way. And I want to make sure that's flat. That's probably too much. Let's see if this doesn't work better. And I'm going to tie it just about in the middle here. Lisa says it's 66 in Pennsylvania. Nice. Do you like it 66, Lisa? Are you happy with the temperature right now? Are you done with summer? Feeling like you want some fall temps? Or is this just something temporary? All right. Okay, Renee says she always uses the ribbon on the inside of the card. See? Okay, now we can, let's add some more adhesive over the ribbon this time. And now let's do it again. Okay, that worked out fine. I think that looks a little bit more finished. I'm going to put a glue dot right under here because I want that just to kind of stay in place. It's not the tightest ribbon that I did, but it'll be fine as long as it stays where it's supposed to. Okay, so we've kind of got most of the outside made now. All right. So we're gonna need this stamp. Let's just finish off the inside, right? I didn't stamp anything. I just put this in with the 2 strips. So let me open this up and make sure that my orientation on my cardstock is gonna be fine like this. Good. And my strips are gonna fit fine. Good, just a tad long maybe. Okay, let's put these on first. Okay, and then I'll just snip off the little tiny, skinny little, not quite perfect. Okay. All right, that's all we're gonna do for the inside. Let's finish the outside. So we need a sentiment, right? Okay, so these dies, pretty fun, right? I like this set right here, and it's fun when you play with these dies because you don't know all of them, like what part they cut out or what part they don't. So this one I took first and did the Mossy Meadow. Okay, so we have that piece is going to be the outside of this. And then I discovered that this die right here layers inside of here. So I cut it out and you get two pieces. You get both pieces, right? So I have, this is the Petunia Pop. And then I did another one in white and I just have the inside, which is going to fit in here nicely. And then we're going to stamp on the white part to make our label. Pretty, right? Lots of fun choices with this. Okay, so let's stamp. And I took some of the sentiments, and the nice thing is you can piece these things together as you like. So I took Feel Better Soon and then Friend, and then just put them together on the same block. And we're going to stamp that in Mossy Meadow. It's kind of fun when you can kind of customize your sentiments, right? And decide what you like. So I hope y'all got that haunted house because that sold out. And then they're saying that it's not coming back before Halloween this year. But they said they were still going to keep it until Halloween next year. So it'll be available through Halloween of next year, they're saying. But I hope if you wanted it that you got it. And so it's going to be available after Halloween. So we know that some people did little gingerbread houses or made Christmas ones. So you could still get it and use it for that if you wanted to. Some of this didn't quite cut through all the way. I don't know why. But I'm poking some of these holes that I'm able to just poke these little pieces through. So I know on the demonstrator planning place, and I'm sure online, somebody will make one online so people can see it. They just used the inside of it with the cardboard color and did cute little Christmas houses too. So anyway, I still haven't done the fence or the trees for mine. I need to do that, especially now that I'm going to just be keeping it stationary. Okay, got our little pieces out. Just going to use some glue. I'm going to do the outer ring first, and just so I can line it up, and then I'll pop the middle inside. Come on, glue. My glue closer. Whoops. Hold on, getting a little glue all over. I want to get it in the right place. All right, just get my little baby wipe and just get some of this glue dabbed off of here. That'll dry clear. It'll be fine. Just looks a little messy right now. Okay. All right, well, I don't know. Should I keep playing with the glue? It doesn't seem to be working out so well for me. Now this only fits one way. So if you're finding when you go to put it in, it doesn't fit, just flip it upside down and it'll fit the other way. So it doesn't really matter. Hold on. See, I had to flip it upside down. Okay, now that lined up perfectly. Isn't that pretty? I love that. What a cute little label. Fun. All right, let's just pop that up. All right, then let's add some embellishment. So this time from the online exclusive, I used the adhesive back dragonflies and birds, and I used some of each. So I'm using a little dragonfly, oops, just to put right here, and a couple of the birds, just flying in this little open space that we have. All right, another one, pretty fast, right? We did it. Second card. What a nice card to send to somebody to help them feel better, right? Okay. Okay, next card. Let's do the sympathy card. Hold on, I need to get a drink. We had fast food because my husband was still dealing with the plumber in the garage when I got home. think it was very salty fast food. Okay, so we're going to do this sympathy card next. Now this piece of paper is so pretty. And this, you can see there's kind of the Lost Lagoon-ish color in the background. So that's why I went with the Lost Lagoon cardstock and kind of added that in. And again, just so pretty with the petunia pop. I love this so much. All right, so for this one, we also added the perennial postage dies. And I used the largest one, this one right here, to cut out the DSP. Now, so you don't have to have these dies if you get my kit. I'm going to cut this piece of DSP for you. So yours will come just like this with the DSP already cut. Okay? All right, so that's already cut. Let's start at the beginning. So I have this piece right here, and this is 4 1/4 by 11 inches cardstock, and it's scored at 5 1/2, and it's just going to open this way. We have a piece of petunia pop cardstock, and this is 5 1/4 by 4, and then I used a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the DSP to cut it out like this. So once you cut this out of the DSP, you've used most of the DSP. Right? There isn't a whole lot left on that to play with. And I guess when I was originally making this card, I had a couple of strips here. And then I didn't notice till later that these strips, because I thought it was the same flower, don't go with this paper. You can see this is more of a balmy blue here than the Lost Lagoon. So I will cut these strips and give them to you. This is actually from this piece of DSP is what I cut these strips from. Okay, this would also make a really pretty card. All right, so let's do this on the inside. Yeah, isn't that funny? When I figured it out later and when I started cutting the card kits, I'm like, something's not right here. And it was that I must have grabbed a scrap out of my little pouch and not realized, this is not the exact match. So anywho, that's what happened there. But I mean, obviously you can decorate the inside of your card any way you want or use anything you like. So my husband said that he was out in the pool and then he came in the house from being outside and went to the front door to check, you know, were there any packages? And we won't comment any further on that, why he needs to check all the time. But he said he looked out the front door and there was like a lake in the front yard. And he's like, huh, I wonder where that water's coming from. Yeah, from the garage, that's where. Okay, and we're going to stamp My Heart Goes Out to You right on here, all right, for the inside. So then he was frantically trying to work with that. Okay, so let's do the stamping before we start putting everything together. So I also am cutting a little piece for the label out of the same perennial postage stamps. This one's going to say With Sympathy. If you don't need a sympathy card, make it a birthday card. Lots of sentiments to choose from, right? So this will say With Sympathy right here. And then on the inside, My Heart Goes Out to You. And that's the other nice thing about this sentiment set is you've got the outside sentiment and then you can have like kind of a coordinating inside sentiment too, right? Okay, now we can start putting everything together. So let's put the inside in first. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing here where we do the layers and then put the ribbon around it before we attach it to our card. Oh, Lisa, you missed the garage. The garage flooded, so the water softener pipe burst and flooded the garage, and it was coming out from under the garage door and flooding the yard too. So that was pretty awesome. But the plumber's been here, he fixed it. We have water again. I came home after most of the chaos, so that was good. Lucky me, right? Hopefully nothing got damaged. We have a lot of stuff. So we have a 3-car garage, but it's tandem. So we have all that space kind of where the water softener is, which is bins for all the holiday decorations for all the different holidays and stuff. So hopefully, mostly everything's in plastic bins. So hopefully nothing got damaged or ruined. I haven't been out to the garage since I've been home to take a look at anything, but I'm hoping nothing was damaged. We had plenty of our share of flooding issues when we lived in Illinois, so that's one thing we haven't had to worry about here at all, which has been awesome. Okay, we've got our bow. We can go ahead and attach this to our card. Okay, so you can see I have this other piece of Lost Lagoon here, and what I did was I took one of the dies, and I'll show you which one so you can see. It's this big one right here, and again, that's from the Thoughtful Wishes dies. And I just thought it'd be nice to put a little background in here. And then I die cut the flowers again, so we're gonna do one more gluing exercise with the flowers. All right, so we've got this piece, and this piece to layer onto our card. So let's glue again. I should have pre-glued the second one, but sometimes I don't think of everything ahead of time. Yeah, so we have to store stuff in the garage because in Texas you don't have basements because it's so rocky here in San Antonio. So there's no basement. The only place to store things is in the garage. So we have that part, the tandem part for all our storage, and then we can still fit our cars in the garage. Protect them from the nasty 105-degree Texas heat. I am going to take a couple of trips in October to Chicago, so I'm excited. I probably will get to see beautiful fall leaves again this year, so that's super exciting. I remember last year when I went, though, it snowed on Halloween, so I hope I don't have to see any of the white stuff while I'm there. Okay, we'll let this dry. That's all glued together. So we're going to cut everything down before we put it on, and let's put our sentiment on first, and then we'll tuck everything underneath. Or should we do it the opposite way this time? Let's put the other stuff on first, okay? So how do we want this to go? Probably like right about here. So I'm going to cut it almost in half. And then add my little bits of glue. You have to get carried away. Not too much. I'm just going to kind of put this a little bit on an angle here, right about there. And I just wanted to kind of bring some of that Lost Lagoon onto the front too. And then this kind of mimics the flowers again with the Mossy Meadow and the Petunia Pop. So do I need to cut this down? I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. And we'll put that right over it like that. Oh, Lisa, you don't have a basement either. Okay. You had a swimming pool in yours. Okay, Renee, does the stamp from the Expression of Kindness kit fit on the flowers in that paper? I don't think so. I'm not really sure. I can't really say. I'm not sure. That would be convenient if it did, right? I love when they do that, when you can use the dies on the DSP. That's awesome. Okay, now we've got that kind of glued in. Now we'll go ahead and pop up our sentiment. Lisa, you said you miss having a basement. Yeah, I don't miss it because it flooded, so I don't miss having a basement. I was over the flooding situation, let me tell you. That was when we lived in Chicago. So it's kind of different here because, you know, we had in our basement when we lived in Palos Heights, in the Chicago suburbs, our family room was downstairs in the basement. It was kind of a half basement because it had windows and stuff, right? And this will go right here. So we had our family room down there. We had a big family room, a fireplace, right? Here, when you come up the stairs, you have a huge loft area, and that's your family room. So your living room's downstairs, and up here is the family room. So you still have the family room. It's just kind of a different layout with no basement here. Okay, so this needs a little bit of embellishment. And so this time I took the other in color, these are the dots. These are the in color resin dots. So I used some Petunia Pop from those just to add a little bit more. And these are the perfect Petunia Pop color, right? Come on. So just a few of those. And right there. Okay. All right. Did we do 3 cards already? That was fast. So there we go. There's our sympathy card. I think that's really pretty. Okay, one more. Okay, this is going to be the other one that we do, and this one is just going to be Have a Blessed Day. And we've switched up colors. No Petunia Pop on this card, right? It's like when they used to do Sesame Street, one of these things is not like the other. This is it. It's kind of our outlier. Okay, so what we're using for this one, we're going to add the embossing folder. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see here, I've embossed this layer right here. So we just have a little bit of embossing in the background. And it's just a nice tiny print. Because most of it's covered up, you can't even kind of tell. But it's kind of a quilted print. And I can't remember the name of this. Let me see. Where's my catalog? Maybe I can find it really quick. To tell you what the name is. But really fun embossing folders that we have. So this is Dashing Designs. And this one's really fun too, the cute crochet. I thought that one would be good for a baby card. Lots of fun with our embossing folders. So Dashing Designs, we're going to use that. All right, here's the pieces. Here's our piece of DSP for that. And you can see on this one, I kind of cut out this way for the card, okay? So let's see if I can get that right. And then here's our other pieces for this card. All right, so we have our standard card base, and this is Fresh Freesia. All right, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then I have a 5 1/4 by 4 in here, and we're going to put that on the inside. And for this inside, we're going to add a little DSP, and Hope is Believing in a Brighter Tomorrow. All right. So we've got that to stamp on. Then we've got a couple of layers. Now I made these a little bit skinnier, bigger layers. So this Night of Navy cardstock layer is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then this one, again, going back to the Fresh Freesia, is 5 1/4 by 4. So those are our layers here. I'm not putting, well, we are going to put ribbon on it. So I guess I might as well not put that down just yet. But what was I going to tell you guys? Something else about these layers. I don't know. But look at, I didn't fold my card right. But it's fixable. Do you guys ever have that when you fold your card and then realize that did not line up perfectly? So I'm just going to reline it up and kind of force it to be straight. I want it to be straight. Okay. All right, let's start by putting our layers on. So we've got this piece right here. This is the emboss layer. Let's see if I can get it with the very skinny edges. Get it centered. Good. We'll tie our ribbon around and then we can start layering it up that way. Now, I colored the ribbon again. Remember last week we did the colored ribbon, so I used the same sheer ribbon and I'm going to color it in Fresh Freesia. So let me get a little piece of some scrap paper here. And let me move some of this stuff out of the way so I don't get it all over. And how much of this do I need? Let's see. Don't want to get crazy, but I want to have enough to tie a decent bow. Another cute little flower. Okay, let me get out my Fresh Freesia. I'm going to use the dark. And I'm just going to color nice and easy. And even though we're using the dark, it's going to come out kind of light, but it's still going to be pretty. I'm going to see if I can not get my fingers all full of ink tonight. And this goes by pretty quickly, and you don't have to do the back because it kind of goes all the way through. And this mesh one is a nice one to color in. So you can kind of see the color. Can you guys see how the color's coming through? How pretty that is? I'm not sure this is the greatest thing for your markers, but if you use the side of it, it shouldn't mess up your tip at all. And that way you can make this ribbon any color that you would like. I feel like we're missing some, like, we have a lot of ribbon right now, but I feel like there should be like a mossy meadow or more of a green ribbon, or we do have the navy that's got the glitter on it, which is pretty, but I just like a lot of choices. I like a lot of ribbon choices. Wouldn't it be fun if we had one in every color? That would be crazy. That's too much. But I feel like it would be kind of fun. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll move this out of the way. All right, can you guys see up close? It's subtle. It's not super dark, but you can kind of see how pretty it is with that Fresh Freesia color. Can you see it? I think you can kind of see it. Okay, let's tie that around and get this first layer completed. If it's too short, I'm killing myself. That would be bad. Nope, we did it. It's the right size. The only thing with this ribbon is you don't want to back and forth it too much with the bows because it does get a little bent out of shape. So if I could try and get the bow right the first time, that would be ideal. All right. Okay, and let's see, do I need to move it over just a little bit? All right, good, we have a layer. Let's put it on top of our card. All right, starting to look like a card now. Okay, so then we have a Night of Navy layer that's going to go right here. And this is 3.5 by 3.5. We're going to cut our DSP. We might as well get that over with, right? And then we just have these two little labels also from that set, and these can go inside each other like that, okay? So we're going to stamp on this and this, and we're going to cut this. So what we're going to cut this one to is 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. I don't want to ruin my bow. So I'm going to stick to this side right here. So I'm going to start by cutting a little bit off the bottom. I don't want too much on the bottom here. And then I'll make it 3 3/8 this way. 1 2 3/8 this way. And then I'll do it this way. 3 1 2 3/8 this way. Okay, and that's going to go right inside our other layer. And then look, we still have some pretty cardstock. Isn't that pretty? You could frame that out and that'd be beautiful just like it is too. Okay, on the inside, I just took a piece of what was left over and just did a little strip. So we'll cut that to 4 by 3/4. Actually, I think I like this one right here. And this looks like it's already 3/4. So I just have to cut it to 4. Okay, let's save our scraps for later. All right, let's put this layer on and then we'll do our stamping and finish it up. Keeping it simple because I feel like the paper does all the work for you. Actually, I want to pop that up. Because the paper's so beautiful, I don't like to cover it up too much. I just like it to kind of shine through. Excuse me, so you can see the whole thing. All right, I've been wanting to use that Changing Leaves set, but the embossing folder has been on back order and is still not available. So I don't know. We're going to do something fall next week. And I'm anxious to start Halloween too. So for sure, we're going to get into some more seasonal cards starting next week, for sure. Okay, let's do our stamping. So this one we're going to do Have a Blessed Day. We're going to do it in Night of Navy. See if I can squeeze this out of here. This barely fits. Let me get this out of the way. I need a flat surface. Okay, we barely fit that on there. And then on the inside, we said we were going to do, hold on, I forgot already. Yikes. Hope. Okay, that's the one. Hope is believing in a brighter tomorrow. And this was 2 pieces I put together too. So 2 separate ones that you can kind of customize to make it say what you want. Okay, we're about to finish up here. Let's put our little strip on the inside. That looks pretty. So did you guys see that starting today you could order some of the Close to My Heart stuff too? I kind of looked at it a little bit online. I didn't really see anything, but I know there's going to be some more Halloween stuff coming out pretty soon too, right? That's not out yet, but probably I think with the new catalog start. So that's kind of fun. Okay, let's get our sentiment. I'll just add a little adhesive here. Kind of center that up. And we'll pop it up over our ribbon. Let's see, do we try and straddle again? I think we do. Trying to think if there's anything else new going on. Did you guys redeem your bonus coupons yet? I redeemed those right away, so I don't have any more of those. New paper pumpkin. You guys saw that, right? I got my paper pumpkin today from this month, but I haven't even had time to open it yet. So I'm anxious to take a look at that. That's going to be fun. All right, let's sideways this a little bit. Okay, went back to the basic rhinestone jewels. Let's see. Do I have some here? I guess I didn't pull those out. Hold on. I know somewhere I've got some. Let's see. Here's some. And I just took 2 of the small ones and just put it on either side right here. You could put more if you wanted to elsewhere on the card, but I think that is enough. All right. Oh, Renee, you gave your paper pumpkin to the grandkids. How fun. Yeah, Renee, I'm not much of a scrapbooker anymore either. I used to be when my kids were younger. I was really into scrapbooking, but I don't know. I should get into it again with the grandkids. I really should, but I just don't have time right now. Okay, you guys, there is our last card. So let's pull these back and take another look-see. So we've got our happy birthday card that we did. Our Wild Wheat bookfold card. See, I guess this is why you do it on the inside for this very reason. There we go. Got that one right there. Feel better soon, friend. We did our sympathy card and then our blessed day card. I hope you guys liked the cards tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I really needed to spend time with you guys today after kind of the day that I had. So it was super nice. If you would like the project measurement and supply sheet, you can email me. I'll be happy to send it to you. If you're on my email list, this will go out tomorrow morning. So you will get it automatically. Here's just a little tiny picture of the Autumn Abundance. That's the paper pumpkin. So if you're not signed up for paper pumpkin, now is a great time to do it because we're going to get into the holiday stuff, and that's really fun. Last year, the Christmas kits were really cute. We already talked about the bonus coupons. Here's a bigger picture of that. All right. Oh, Lisa, host code right here, 4E642R46. You guys have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.